So technically today is the day after Christmas, but it's like the holiday season. Not everyone is religious or celebrates Christmas. I think this is a part of my hair I burned off. Who knows anymore? So my lives obviously been a little off. Yesterday was a book day, and I'm still gonna read again live later. But because it was Christmas, I figured that I should read How the Grinch Stole Christmas, since I was having this whole, Dr. Seuss themed book. Dr. Seuss themed story time. There you go. And this is actually one of the few ones that I'm going to be reading that I know. And there's all those new How the Grinch Stole Christmases, movies and everything. But don't forget to join me in my lives, because I have all this new cool stuff and things to talk about. So it should be exciting to start things and blah blah blah. So I'm reading How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were just too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all was that his heart was 2 sizes too small. He is very grumpy looking. He has red eyes. I wonder how they decided that the Grinch was going to be green. I mean, he starts off white. And this is how the original book was. Is he green because of pot? Because pot makes people happy? Think about it. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's. Hate's bad. Let's just remember that hate is bad and we should not hate or discriminate. Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at all the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. See, he's still white. He is very mad. But to be honest, I can't blame him for being mad, because I haven't read this one in a long time, but in the movies, because I've seen this one recently, he gets treated really badly, so I would be sour too. And they're hanging their stockings. He snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow's Christmas. It's practically here. And then he growled with his grinchy fingers nervously drumming. I guess that's what he's doing right there. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, tiny little Whoville, the Grinch. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then all the noise. All the noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise. Now, to be completely honest, can't, disagree. The holidays are really loud. A little overwhelming. For me, that means I have to stay more medicated. It sounds, because of my nerve disorder and everything, and being overstimulated is hard. And then the who's young and old would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. They would feast on who pudding and rare who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. Maybe it's vegetarian. I mean, I'm a vegetarian. But I like how the whole town eats like Christmas together. That's cute. It just says Mary, Mary in the mistletoe. And then they do something he liked least of all. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with the Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. Sing and they'd sing, and they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, they must stop this whole thing. Why? For 53 years I put up with it now. 43. Wow. Whoops. I must stop this Christmas from coming. How? Okay. I mean, if you didn't picked on and bullied for 43 years, over 43, can't really blame him for being mean. The Who's knew he was there, and that they were not being nice to him. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderfully awful idea. Now, I don't condone, this, like, revenge. But the thing is, and I kind of wish that they had talked about this more, is that I feel like they should have talked about how the Who's learned from their mistake of treating him like that, too. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinch trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. Freaky. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. One horn, not two horns. But he is creative, I'll give him that. Very, very creative. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks and a ramshackled sleigh, and he hitched up old Max And the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. He doesn't do so much planning in this one. He just thinks of the idea and goes for it. Poor Max. The dog. The reindeer dog. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1. The old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bag in his fist. JP Who? That's funny. I never really knew it said who it was. And again, he's still not green. And there were multiple ones, and he wasn't actually green in any of them. When did he become green? Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa Claus could do it, then so could the Grinch. You know, he does have a good attitude, though. He's like, well, even though I haven't done this, someone else, he did no training. He's like, I haven't done this, but someone else did, so if they can, I believe in myself enough to do it, even though he was doing something wrong. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grins, are the first thing to go. They have such a giant bed. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, chalkboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. And he stuck them in bags. Then the Grinch, very nimbly, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the ice box. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef. He cleaned out the ice box as quick as a flash. Why? The Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Now, I all I can think about is hash, pot. I don't know if there's another kind of hash. Apparently, there is, and it's Who hash. And then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch. I will stuff up the tree. The sad tree. But there's nothing else there. Very sad. So, this is a long book. We're going to take just a quick intermission.